Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is the second one in our 2024 predictions series. Just a few days ago we did the general predictions reading for 2024, and so today we are going to be focusing on your love life, and this is going to include what is shifting for you in terms of your overall energy towards love. It will also include a specific timeline of events that will be unfolding in your love life throughout the year. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today, and we're going to be using a different tarot deck for each reading. And I've also placed these adorable little glass figures on top of each group to help you pick. I recently went to a town in northern Japan which is famous for glasswork. It's called Otaru, and I was in this shop and I forget which one I saw first. I think it was these cats in the bath. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. So I went looking around the store for little couple figures. That's not to say that you have to be in a 2-person relationship, but I just thought they were so cute, and I just found 4 for this reading, and I'm very pleased with them. So I'm gonna show you these up close one by one, and I'm also gonna show you a card from each deck. In the general predictions video, we showed different 8 cards, like the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Swords, that kind of thing. In this reading, I'm gonna show you guys the number 8 major arcana. The reason for number 8 is that 2024 is an 8 year. The digits add up to 8. So in most decks, the 8 major arcana is the Strength card, except for I think this one, it's the Justice card. But anyway, let's go ahead and show you guys your options, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Group number 1, you have these bears on a bench, and you have the Likely Tarot, and here is the Strength card. Group number 2, you have these cats taking a bath, and you have the Lunar Eclipse Tarot, and here is the Strength card. Group number 3, you have these squids hanging out in the seaweed, and you have the Live It the Ghost Tarot, and here is the Justice card. And group number 4, you have these frogs sharing a heart, and you have the New Moon Tarot, and here is the Strength card. Okay, so just in case you need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with our little bears. Hi number ones. So if you guys chose the bears on this little, it actually like rocks back and forth when it's standing up. It's really cute. But anyway, if you chose these bears, this is going to be your reading all about your love life in 2024. I do have a list of what we're going through today, mainly so that I don't forget, but we're gonna start off by taking a look at your overall energy in love and relationships. We're gonna see where you're coming from and where you're going to find out what is shifting for you energetically in your love life. Then we're gonna get a couple of personalized messages depending on your situation. So for those of you who have a person, so to speak, meaning just a person of interest, maybe a partner, there will be a personalized message for you, as well as those of you who do not have a specific person at this time. Then we are going to get into the timeline of events that will be unfolding in your love life throughout the year of 2024, and we'll finish off with some advice from your spirit guides. So let's get started by seeing how your energy towards love and relationships is shifting in 2024. So the cards to represent where you're coming from. We have Coming Together, Try and Try Again, the 5 of Wands, and Caution, Keep Your Guard Up. Okay, and for the energy of where you are going, we have Release, That's the 1. The 10 of Swords. And Trust. Faith in the power of the universe. 222 on the camera timer as I'm holding this up. That's beautiful. Okay, I do want to mention, by the way, that all of the decks that we are using today are kindly provided by Tarot Stack at tarotstack.com. If you are a frequent watcher of my channel, which by the way, thank you if you are, you have definitely seen a lot of decks from Tarot Stack. They're an online shop that carries a huge, beautiful, diverse selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. Not only do they create this platform for us to find indie decks, but they directly support indie creators with 50% of their profits going towards funding indie deck projects. So they help independent creators get their decks printed, published, and marketed out there into the world. And this is the perfect season to gift yourself or a loved one an indie tarot or oracle deck. Most of the decks are beginner friendly, coming with a detailed guidebook. So I'm gonna have all the decks we use today, including the tarot deck that you guys chose. I'm gonna have them linked down below. You can see every single card in the deck, and of course, the link to their website so you can browse any decks that you may feel called to. So thank you very much, Tarot Stack. I always appreciate working with you guys. Now, let's get into your messages. So I actually want to start off by talking about this tarot situation here. We have the 5 of Wands for the energy of where you're coming from and the 10 of Swords for where you are going. First of all, with this number 5, 5 is kind of like a volatile number. It is a number representing change, and it is the number that is in the middle of the single digit numbers from 1 to 9. 5 is right in the middle. So there is this feeling of it could go either way. There's a feeling of unpredictability, and the way it's coming through to me here is volatility compared to the number 10, which is an even number, and it has this meaning of completion. It feels like things have been wrapped up, things are settled. Even looking at the illustration on these cards, in the 5 of Wands, we see that the wands are all jumbled up, they're all going in different directions. Whereas in the 10 of Swords, they're all aligning, they're all going in the same direction. So I do feel like there is a shift that is happening within you. You're moving from an energy of being conflicted and kind of being all over the place to having a lot of clarity and feeling like all the parts of you are aligned and just knowing what you need to do. So we're going from an inner conflict to clarity. And there is some sort of ending that is associated with this mental clarity. And I think what we're seeing here is you're deciding, like, we're not going to do this anymore. In my love life, in my relationships, I'm not going to do this anymore. What you are moving away from is fighting and fighting to make something work that wants to fall apart. You know, the 5 of Wands, it is a fight, and I do think this is you like fighting to make things work, but it can also talk about just conflicting messages, conflicting interests, confusion, inner conflict. So you've maybe dealt with a lot of people in the past, or dealt with a specific person who made you very confused, like who gave you mixed signals, who was hot and cold. Maybe you found that they were hard to read. Maybe you found that they were unpredictable or inconsistent. And what you're not doing anymore is, when you come face to face with that type of person, you're not going to take that burden upon yourself to make it work. If someone is being confusing or inconsistent, you're not going to take it upon yourself to like solve that riddle and try to figure out how is it that they're really feeling, what do they really want, if they're not going to make any effort to to communicate that to you. And so I think in the past, with these two cards next to each other, it's like you would try and try and try perhaps to get someone to open up, to get someone to give you a clear answer, to get someone to give you the attention that you deserve. Try to make things work with this yin and yang, like try to reconcile your differences. And even like with this web, I'm thinking about how like if a spider's web gets destroyed, they just have to build it up again and again. I'm also thinking with this web of complexity, like a web of stories, or you know, someone's spinning a web and you're trying to figure out what their end game is, or trying to figure out what their intentions are, and kind of like keeping your guard up. Like this is a fight that you have to fight to get the love you want, to get the kind of treatment you want. And I think the energy that you're moving towards is like, I'm just not even going to do this anymore. Like I'm not playing this game anymore. That's what this release is. That's what this trust is. There's a surrender here. There's a surrender here. And this is, the Ten of Swords is an ending. I think this could be representing like you cutting ties with a specific person, if there is a specific person that's been making you feel this way. But I think it's kind of the end of a chapter of you just saying like, you're saying goodbye to this energy. You're saying goodbye to this pattern. And that's giving you a lot of mental clarity. And with that's the one, I feel like there's a message of when someone wants to be with me, I will know because they'll make it really clear to me. Or that's the type of energy that I want to welcome into my life. I want to welcome someone who is very clear about their intentions with me, who is enthusiastic, who makes efforts to be with me. I don't want to be solving riddles anymore. I don't want to be like pulling teeth to get answers from someone. Like that's not the vibe in 2024. So you could be letting go of a specific person who was giving you that wishy-washy energy, or just letting go of that chapter of your life where you allowed that kind of thing. And like really putting your faith into the universe that if someone's meant to be in my life, they will show me, and it doesn't have to be forced. So this is a really beautiful transformation that you guys are going through. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, I want to make this a little bit more personalized. So we're gonna pull two cards from this deck, the Moonchild Tarot. One will be for those of you who do not have a specific person, so no person of interest, no partner, and then one card will be for those of you who do have a specific person. With that being said, you could very well like resonate with one message or the other, or both, so feel free to claim like either or both messages if it resonates for you. So we're going to start with a message for those of you who do not have a specific person at this time. A message for those who do not have a specific person. We have the Devil. We're also going to roll some dice. And I'm just going to take 3 random dice from this bowl. And we have the number 4, so this is the 4th house. We have, oh, Cancer, so that actually relates to the 4th house. And then we have Mercury. So in terms of a person that you could be manifesting into your life, they could have Capricorn placements or Cancer placements. They could also have Gemini and Virgo because we do have Mercury here. And then these could be combined in a number of ways. So for example, like Capricorn in the 4th house, or Cancer in the 4th house, Mercury in Cancer, Mercury in Capricorn, Mercury in the 4th house, just naming all the possible combinations. Capricorn and Cancer are sister signs, so I think that for those of you who don't have a specific person yet, you will be attracting someone who is sort of like the yin to your yang. They could be quite different from you or seem quite different from you externally, but when it comes down to it, you do have similar souls, you have same core values, you want the same things. I'm hearing this message that often we might, you know, think we should be with someone who has like the exact same personality as us and the exact same interests as us, and that we'll get along more, but you might actually get along very well with someone who has seemingly an opposite personality to you or very different interests to you, or you might get along with someone who's kind of the opposite of the type of person you've gone for before. Someone who maybe isn't like your traditional type. They're kind of different from what you usually go for. I also see you attracting someone who is extremely ambitious. They either have a high status or a high position in their career, or they are well on their way to getting there, but at the same time, they always remember their humble beginnings. They remember where they came from, and they will never like lose sight of their home and their family and like put work above that. So it's like they're very hardworking. That's very important to them, but never to the point that they're going to neglect themselves, their loved ones, their home, and their family. Like that's always going to be number one to this person. A piece of advice for those of you who don't have a person at this time is also working on feeling secure within yourself, because I just think as humans, we tend to look externally for things that we feel are lacking on the inside. I think it's just something that we instinctively do when we have like a hole within. We try to fill it with things from the outside. So if you're entering into a relationship with major unresolved issues of insecurity, you could try to really lean on or cling to your person of interest and try to get that feeling of security from them, which could put a strain on the relationship. And it's almost like you don't want to outsource your sense of security to another person, especially to one other person. Ideally, it should come from within and come from like a support system of many people, so that that burden doesn't all go on to one person, essentially. So while you are waiting for this person to come into your life, I think advice from your spirit guides is to really work on feeling secure from within. With the devil here as well, there could be some limiting beliefs that that are hindering you in your love life or in things that you are trying to manifest, whether that's like your ability to find a partner or your love ability or something that is keeping you in your shell, like preventing you from putting yourself out there. Those might be things that you are looking at and wanting to work on at this time. For those of you who do have a specific person, we have the Knight of Cups. So it does look like things are going very well between you and your specific person. The Knight of Cups indicates motion, movement. So it is showing me that progress will be made between you and your person in the year of 2024. You will be moving forward, moving to some kind of next level with them. Which could be in terms of your relationship status, but I also think this is indicating an increased emotional connection, an increased level of intimacy. It's interesting, when I held this up to the camera timer was at 15:15, which is the number of the devil, and then we see this horse like stepping over the river. There's a feeling of overcoming. You're overcoming something with your person that once had you stuck. Maybe you or your person or both of you are overcoming some fears that you had with regards to this connection, overcoming some limiting beliefs or insecurities that you had. And the way to overcome this, I'm hearing the only way that you can overcome this with your person is through being vulnerable. You know, we have this full moon in the sky, which is an indication of like really strong, intense emotion, but it's been shrouded by this fog. Like someone's deep, intense emotions have been hidden, and it's only through allowing this fog to clear and being really open and really vulnerable about our emotions, even the ones that are kind of ugly, even the ones that aren't like pretty and nicely packaged up with a bow, just letting all of that raw emotion out, and facing it is the way to overcome these fears and get closer and develop an even stronger emotional intimacy with each other. This is also a year where your affectionateness towards each other is heightening. So you could be doing more romantic things with your person, being more sweet, being more vocal about the love that you feel for each other, being more snuggly, being more sentimental in the gifts that you give each other, in the dates that you go on. This is a very, very sweet energy. Things are definitely still growing. Things are definitely still progressing. Even if you're already very close with your person, I do feel you becoming even closer in the year 2024, which is so beautiful. So also with this movement, you could be like moving with your person, whether that's moving in together, you could be going on a trip with your person. Maybe that's like an exciting thing of 2024, like your first trip together. Or like if you're already with this person, it could just be that you're going on a lot more trips together, or you're like relocating with them. So let's roll our dice. We have the number 10. Ooh, we have Jupiter and Sagittarius. Oh my gosh. Okay, one or both of you, either you or your person or both of you is like getting a promotion. That's the vibe that I'm getting. I'm hearing like someone is being rewarded for their excellence. Someone has been, actually much like this energy, everyone just seems to be manifesting ambitious people, or you are an ambitious person yourself. The message is that someone has really been reaching for the stars. They've been really like dreaming big. They want to overachieve, and maybe has really been pushing themselves out of their comfort zone to grow their business or to grow their skills. And this is being rewarded in a major way in 2024. So one or both of you is like getting promoted or making it to the top of your field. You could be getting recognition. You could be enjoying a positive reputation this year. This is going to bring in money to, I want to say, to your household. So a lot of you could be living with this person or moving in with this person. And 1919 on the camera as I'm talking about this message, you could also be rewarded financially for a brilliant creative idea that you have. And this is allowing you financial security, but it's also allowing you to have more fun. And maybe this is why we see you like going on more dates, traveling more, because you have the means to do so. For some of you, this financial security could also be relieving a lot of stress in the relationship. And so you find that you're like arguing less or fighting less, or you have more time to spend with each other. And it does feel like this year is a honeymoon phase for you. You could be entering back into a honeymoon phase, like if you've been in the comfortable phase with this person. It feels like you're more carefree and more passionate. So that's, wow, that's a beautiful energy. Okay, so now we are gonna get into the timeline of events. Ooh, I love how this deck shuffles, and the sound is so satisfying too. Okay. What is the timeline of events that, whoa, oh my gosh, that flew. What do we have here? We have the Two of Swords that flew out and fell on the floor. We have the, oh, the Knight of Cups again. The Hierophant. And the Seven of Cups. So this is your timeline. We're gonna take the bottom of the deck energy for the advice from your spirit guides, and that is the Ace of Wands. Regardless of your situation in your love life, I do feel like 2024 marks the start of a new chapter for you in your love life or in your existing relationship. And it feels like major challenges are being overcome, and we can start to really enjoy we can start to really enjoy love. I'm hearing that Tom Jones song that's like, just help yourself. How does it go? To my lips, to my arms, and then let's really start to live. I may be singing it wrong, but it's like, let's really start to live. Let's really start to have fun. And I feel like you're really moving away from an energy where like love and relationships is this stressful thing that puts a weight on you, and it's becoming something that is fun and exciting and pleasurable and passionate. Like that's the energy that you're stepping into. And I feel like really the only piece of advice here from your spirit guides is to just embrace that new energy coming in. And there's also a message of really milking your joy or basking in your joy, so that you can make more of it. So whatever that looks like for you, the Ace of Wands is a very creative card. So for those of you who are creatives, they could be encouraging you to make art that is inspired by your love, or make art that is inspired by your person, so that you can really bask in those emotions, and also so that you can immortalize this time of your life, because this is like a really beautiful and passionate year for you in love. It could also be like documenting the beautiful moments that you have. So, you know, when you're spending time with your person, to take pictures or to write each other letters, like something that will stay, that you can look back on. And every time you go back to revisit it, you're getting to access that joy all over again. So it's like really making the most of these joyous moments, not just letting them pass you by, but living them to the fullest, and then living them again and again and again, and just like revisiting that emotion. That's really the only piece of advice from your spirit guides. I think they want you to really let go and be carefree this year in love and just enjoy it. This is not the year of hard lessons. This is not the year of like fighting to make things work. This is a year of things being relatively easy. And that's not to say like your relationship with your person isn't going to take work, because every relationship does, but it doesn't have to feel like difficult or dreadful. And that's something that you're really going to see this year. With these two cards that came out next to each other, the Two of Swords and then the Knight of Cups, it really gave me the feeling of someone giving you your undivided attention, because, you know, this Knight of Cups already appeared, and we spoke about it being this very like sweet and affectionate energy representing intimacy. In a love reading, the Two of Swords feels like someone who is wishy-washy, someone who is on the fence, someone who can't like decide to be with you or can't decide to choose you. And so this might be an energy, and I'm actually happy that this is the first card that came out, because if this is a timeline, it's kind of nice that we're getting this wishy-washy energy out at the beginning. So for those of you who are not with someone yet, at the beginning of the year, you may be dealing with someone who is like this, or dealing with people who are like this, who just don't really, they're not consistent, they're not making you feel like a priority. They're not being clear. It's like sometimes it really seems like they're interested in you, and then other times it really seems like they're not, and then other times you're not so sure. So you could be dealing with a bit of that energy with other people, with someone else, before your Knight of Cups comes in. And it's interesting how this Knight of Cups is facing the Two of Swords. It's almost like in the midst of you experiencing this BS, this Knight of Cups comes in and really shows how you are meant to be treated and what like a healthy connection is supposed to feel like, and just blows all of this BS out of the water. And so, and this is your person, by the way, when your Knight of Cups comes in, it's really like wow, how did I accept this kind of treatment before? That's really the vibe. And interesting too, if we're looking at this as a timeline, this is Taurus energy, the Hierophant. So your guides could be trying to say that for those of you who don't have your person yet, they could be coming in before Taurus season. So like before, let's say before the month of May, because we do have the number 5 here. Before the month of May, your Knight of Cups would be coming in. So, you know, early on in the year, we're maybe like dealing with like a vague situationship, or just dealing with people that are wishy-washy. Like if you're, like for example, if you're on a dating app, you could just be having to deal with a lot of people who don't seem really in it, who don't really seem committed, and you're just like, ugh. And maybe this is even you on the fence of like, do I even want to keep trying to look for love, or should I just like give up? And I actually think when you surrender and just like trust that the universe is bringing your Knight of Cups to you, you know, you'll see them just smoothly come into your life, just easily come into your life. And I think this is a phoenix. I think so, but there is a feeling of regeneration, and I think this is really representing your hope being restored, your hope and love being restored. For those of you who do have a person, you could be kind of on the fence about something when it comes to moving to the next level with them. But then when you really think about it, at the end of the day, you're like, I love this person and we're gonna make it work anyway. So you could be having some cold feet with regards to, like, let's say you are talking about moving in together. You could be having some cold feet, not because you don't love them, but just because like, oh, I've heard of couples, like things are really different when they start living together. Like maybe you're afraid that things are going to go sour when you do have something really good going on right now. Or maybe you're on the fence for a completely different reason. Maybe you're like, I don't know about this location, I don't know about this apartment. Like it doesn't have to be an indecision about like your person or your relationship specifically, but just some factor of like the decision you have to make to move to this next level. It could even be like, I don't know, maybe you're planning to, I don't know if you're here yet with your person, but like if you're planning to get married, you could be like, what do we want to have, a big wedding or a small intimate wedding? Do we want to have a wedding like in my country or your country or both? And then at the end of the day, you realize like, at the end of the day, we love each other. It doesn't matter what we do. And let's just do the thing that is less stressful. That's kind of the vibe. We're just not, stressing is not the vibe this year for group number ones. Like, it's just not. We're not going to stress about unnecessary things, and we're not going to like create unnecessary stress in our lives. And I think when you just remember, at the end of the day, we love each other. Whatever we choose is going to be awesome because we're going to be together. I think it just takes a lot of pressure. You're like removing unnecessary factors that come into play when you're making your decision, and putting the love that you and your person share like at the center of everything. And that just makes it so much easier. It makes it so much easier to choose the right things. With the Hierophant here, there is definitely a feeling of commitment. So whether you have a person or not at the time of watching this, around the middle of the year, there is some kind of commitment that you are making with someone. And the beaver also makes me think of home. A lot of you who chose this group, like if you're in a relationship, I do see you moving in, like moving in with your person or buying a house with them, you know, moving house or something like that, or laying the foundations to build your home and build your family. The beaver is like a symbol of being family oriented and being a provider. So you're really starting to look at your long-term future with your person and what you want to provide to each other and what you want to build together. So around the middle of the year, you and your person, whether they're here yet or not, you and your person are starting to think about your long-term future and the type of foundation that you want to build. For those of you who are students, you could be meeting your person at school or meeting somewhere where learning is the main point. So it could also be like a workshop, a class that you're taking, a conference, somewhere you're going to listen to a speaker, you're going to listen to someone give a talk and learn what they have to say, that kind of vibe. Somewhere where you would be surrounded by like-minded people. And also, kind of off topic of your love life, but for those of you who have been thinking about going to school, going back to school, getting, like taking an exam, getting a license, getting a certification, this is a big sign that you should be doing that. Also, therapy, or if you can't afford therapy or if that's not something you want to do, just like learning about the types of techniques or practices that are employed in therapy could be something that is helpful to you, whether that's something you're doing individually or with your person. Then, at the end of the year, we have this Seven of Cups energy, and this coming after a beaver, I think there is a feeling of being overwhelmed. The Seven of Cups can talk about illusion or disillusionment. And coming after a beaver is giving me the feeling of, did I bite off more than I can chew? Did I do too much? So I think that obviously there's been a lot of ambitious energy throughout this reading. Your person, very ambitious. You guys are probably ambitious too. And with the Hierophant, we see you guys planning for your future. Whether that's like planning to move, planning to renovate a house, planning to start a business together, planning to start a family. You are making these kind of plans with your person, and something towards the end of the year, maybe around October or November, you actually, wait a minute, what is... Let me get out an ephemeris. We're gonna figure out when this is happening. There's an overwhelming period for you at the end of the year where you and your person may be feeling like you bit off more than you can chew in terms of the plans that you made. Okay, let's see when this is happening. Okay, this will be happening from around mid-September to mid-October. This kind of overwhelming feeling. And you know, we had this commitment, right? So that might be kind of tricky because when you commit to something, there is a feeling of having locked, like you're locked into it. And there could be something where the many things that you have committed to are getting busy at the same time. So for example, maybe you did commit to going back to school and getting a certification, but then you're also like planning a wedding with your person, or you're also planning a move with your person. And so it's like, oh man, am I doing too much? Like I'm really excited. I want to do all these things, but it just feels like a lot, and maybe I should have waited. And this is like a feeling of getting overwhelmed and I guess kind of doubting yourself. But I need you to know that yes, this might be like a time of hard work and having a lot going for you at the same time, but you can get through it. And this is only going to be temporary. And maybe this advice from your spirit guides, the Ace of Wands, is something that can help you get through it. To remember that at the heart of these things, it's supposed to be fun. I get anxious very easily and my thoughts tend to spiral, and when I do feel myself getting busy, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what have I done? Why am I even doing all of these things? And I start to really second guess like the things that I've chosen to do. And in those moments, I just have to remind myself that every last one of these things, like, I'm doing it because I want to and because it's fun. And when I stop thinking of it as this thing that like I have to show up for and prove myself, and just like, oh, I'm so grateful that I get to have this experience and it's going to be really fun and like no pressure, and I just put like enjoyment back at the heart of it and look for the fun moments, it makes it so much easier. And if you do have an anxious brain, sometimes I feel like the anxiety leading up to doing what you have to do versus actually doing it, like it's way more anxiety inducing before, because your brain likes to just work things up. But then once you're actually in it and doing it, you'll find that you're having fun. So I know it may look scary all written down in your schedule, like, oh my God, I have to do this and this and this. But once you're doing it, I promise it will be fun, and I promise you can handle it, and your person's gonna have your back and the universe is gonna have your back. And I was wondering if this was a sign. I have to put a little stone behind the bears' backs so that they don't, otherwise they kind of like fall like that and you can't see them as nicely. And I was like, I wonder if this is a little sign of your back is had. Your person has your back, the universe has your back, and they do. So there's gonna be a little busy period. What did I say? Mid-September to mid-October. A little stressful. But you know what? After that, it's gonna be smooth sailing. So, and yeah, like, I think that in that time, rather than suiting up, yeah, like suiting up and being like, I have to figure this out by myself, that could actually, yes, this is the thing, this is the thing, this is the piece of advice. And this is for those of you who have the tendency when you're under stress to like bottle it up or feel like you have to deal with it by yourself. If you're feeling like, I don't want to burden my person with this stress, I don't want them to have to deal with that, that could have the opposite effect. Because if you bottle it up, you will become irritable, you will become moody, you will become resentful if you're harboring all the stress by yourself. And that stress is going to have to express itself one way or another. And when we bottle up emotions, they tend to get expressed in ways that are not favorable. Whereas if we just let them come out directly in the way that they wanted to in the first place, it's a much better experience. So, you know, shielding your person from the stress that you're going through because you don't want to like upset them could have the opposite effect. Whereas if you're just open and vulnerable with the stress that you're going through and really lean on them in those moments, it will actually be a beautiful opportunity for bonding and seeing how they can show up for you and seeing how they can share your worries and seeing how they can help you find calm and seeing how they can ground you just by listening to you, or just by like hugging you and saying, I know you had a long day, it's gonna be okay. Those little moments can really, oh my God, I'm getting emotional. Those little moments can really do a lot to calm down your anxious brain and make the stresses go away. Like so much of our problems can be solved by connection and honestly just like physical touch. It's a very beautiful and grounding experience. So please, 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 when you're going through this, do not bottle it up. Don't think that you have to like shield your person from it. Allow them to be involved in what you're going through. Allow them to be involved in your life, because your life includes the peaceful moments and the busy moments, and they're here for all of that. Okay? Aw, I wasn't expecting to get emotional, but those are all the messages for my group number ones. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Once again, thank you so much to Tarot Stack for providing all of the beautiful decks that you see here. I'm gonna have them all linked down below, as well as their website if you want to check out any other decks. And I don't remember if I said this, but I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. And I wish you all the best. And I also wish you a lovely rest of 2023 and a lovely 2024. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. You can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. Thank you so much. Sending lots of love to you, your person, and both of your higher selves, and both of your spirit guides, both of your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number twos. So if you guys chose the bathing cats, this is going to be a reading all about your love life in the year 2024. This is what we're going to be going through in today's reading. We're going to start off by taking a look at your overall energy towards love and relationships and see where you are coming from and where you're going so that we can find out what is shifting for you energetically in love. And then we are going to get some personalized messages. So there will be a message for those of you who do have a person, so to speak, meaning like a person of interest or a partner, and then there will be a message for those of you who do not have a person at this time. Then we will get into a specific timeline of events that will be unfolding in your love life throughout the year 2024, and we'll finish off the reading with messages and advice from your spirit guides. So the first thing we're going to do is see your overall energy and how it's shifting this year. To represent the energy of where you're coming from, we have I am connected to the earth. It starts from you. The Ace of Pentacles. And growth, overcoming limitations. For the energy of where you're going, we have what are you waiting for? Cuddles, please. The Fates, so this would be the Wheel of Fortune. And remember who you are, return to the roots. And I want to mention as well, all of the decks that we're using today, including the tarot deck that you guys chose, these are all kindly provided by Tarot Stack and available on tarotstack.com. If you are a watcher of my channel, thank you very much, by the way. If you are, you've definitely seen a lot of decks that are from Tarot Stack. They have a beautiful, diverse selection of indie tarot and oracle decks that is always growing. And not only do they provide us with this platform to discover new indie decks, but they also directly support independent deck creators with 50% of their profits going towards funding new indie tarot and oracle deck projects. So they help these independent creators get their decks printed and published and marketed out into the world. And now is the perfect season to gift yourself or a loved one a new tarot or oracle deck. Most of their decks are beginner friendly. They come with detailed guidebooks. So I'm going to have all of the decks used today linked down below, as well as just a link to their website so that you can browse the decks. You can see every card in the deck on their website as well. So thank you so much to Tarot Stack. It's always a pleasure to collaborate with you. And now let's get into your reading. So there's a lot here about grounding and planting your seeds and watching your seeds grow. Like, this is a really recurring theme here. We have, first of all, this I am connected to the earth card, and then we have literally like a seed that has been planted into the ground. The Ace of Pentacles as well. It can have this meaning of a seed being planted, and then we have this message of like returning to your roots. So lots about grounding and lots about planting your seeds. There's also, I want to point out with these tarot cards, we have a number 1 card and we have a number 10 card. I feel like rather than a shift, I'm more so just seeing growth. I feel like this group, you've already done a lot of amazing work, and through the year of 2024, this beautiful energy that you've cultivated for yourself is just growing and growing and growing from here. You've planted seeds in 2023 that now, I feel like in 2024, you're handing them over to the universe. You're allowing now, like you've planted the seed, now the universe is going to step in and bring the rain to water your seed and bring the sun to give it nutrients. It's like you're handing this over to the universe, and the universe is going to multiply all of the efforts that you've put into it. I think 2024 is going to be a year where you see some pretty big manifestations coming to fruition, and the possibilities are really endless for you. This may not necessarily be about love, but I feel like for many of you, a career change is destined. So this may be something that's happening in 2024, or like the start of a promising new business venture is destined for you in 2024. And this is kind of unexpected. So you may be receiving an unexpected work opportunity or an unexpected business offer. Or if you currently have plans to change your job, or if you currently have plans to start a new business, it might take you to places that you never expected. I don't know why this is coming up in a love life reading. Maybe your spirit guides just wanted to take this time to let you know that, or perhaps a career change or a new beginning in your career is going to lead to advancements in your love life, but that is a message that is coming through. I think something that this group has really been working on is remembering your connection to the universe and your connection to everyone and everything that is here, and really realizing that you are not separate from others, and you are not separate from the world around you, and you do have the power to influence your external circumstances and to influence the outcome of things with your thoughts, with your beliefs, with your words, with your actions. And I feel like you've really been spending maybe the past year empowering yourself and being more intentional with your thoughts, being more intentional with what you put out there, the words and ideas that you put out there, being more intentional with the actions that you take, and really consciously creating your desired life. This is the work that this group has been doing, and you've been doing an amazing job. I think that's what this card is talking about as well. It starts from you. You have set intentions. I think a lot of you guys are going into 2024 with a pretty clear idea of what you would like to experience and what you would like to manifest. And your spiritual team is confirming to you that you have already successfully planted the seeds to experience and manifest everything that you desire. And that goes for your love life. And I think that just goes for your life in general. This really feels like an all-encompassing energy that you're embodying in all areas of your life. I think how this is going to translate into your love life in 2024 is that, I guess I want to say, you're becoming more of a go-getter in your love life and relationships. You're becoming more assertive and taking initiative when you want something or when you want someone, and just going for it. With these two messages together, what are you waiting for? And cuddles, please. I do feel like this, I mean, you could very well be asking for cuddles, or someone is asking you for cuddles, but I think the feeling behind this card is really asking for what you want, openly, directly, and unapologetically. So if you want cuddles, you're gonna ask for them. If you want to see someone, you're gonna invite them out to hang out with you. If you want more intimacy in your relationship, or if you don't want something in your relationship, you're able to ask for it. You're able to ask for what you need without waiting for the other person to read between the lines and figure it out. You may be stepping out of, and I think you already have actually, you've already kind of stepped out of an energy of being passive and waiting for things to happen to you, and recognizing your power in bringing about the change that you want. Yeah, I mean, if I do interpret this literally in 2024, you could be enjoying physical relationships more, or becoming more comfortable with enjoying that side of relationships. You could be figuring out what you like in a physically intimate way, or becoming more comfortable with like being vocal about that. That could be something that this is talking about, but I think overall it's just like being vocal about what it is that you want, not being afraid to ask for it. I think, yeah, you're also gonna find that when you are bold enough to make the first move, whether that's in your love life or in any area of your life, the universe will favor you and luck will favor you. And I think this is a year where you're recognizing that you really can create your own luck. It just seems like you are making this bold decision to change your life in some way, and that's gonna bring in a lot of good luck. That's gonna bring in a lot of serendipitous events into your life. So an example of this is like, let's say you've been really wanting a change in your life and you're like, well, if I want to change, I need to be the one to initiate that. So maybe you change your job, or maybe you move across the country. You are the one who is taking that first step. And then the universe is responding by, for example, bringing several soul family members into your life. The universe is almost like rewarding your braveness or rewarding your boldness to answer that call inside of you and make a change. That you'll start to see in 2024, you're going to start to see a lot more synchronistic events in your life, or a lot more signs and synchronicities from the universe, which confirm to you that you're on the right path, but I think also kind of gently nudge you and let you know which way to go. And I do think there's going to be a lot of fated encounters for you this year. If you have not met your romantic counterpart yet, you will probably meet them kind of in an unexpected way. I know that's a vague thing to say, but I think that you'll meet them when you're not really looking for them, when you're just like in your lane and going about your life. You will bump into them, so to speak. And even if you are already with your romantic counterpart, I think that you are going to be having a lot of fated encounters, perhaps in terms of like platonic soulmates or work soulmates, people that you're meant to collaborate with, just people that you were supposed to meet, people that your soul was meant to meet in this lifetime. A lot of them are coming in 2024. This is a significant year for that. And I think this is also, sorry about this, by the way, this is like a melted rubber band, this green, because it's hot here. It's weirdly hot right now. Like it should not be this warm. Anyway, enough about that. I think this is a year where you're really coming into yourself, and I'm hearing like your soul is vibrating. I don't know what that means. I think your soul is just really excited and really revved up, and you are feeling connected to your soul and connected to your divinity this year. And it's like all of these special people that you meet just reflect back to you the beauty of who you are, and I think that you do the same for them. Looking at these constellations, for those of you who are interested in astrology or familiar with like your birth chart, for example, 2024 there could be some major transits happening for you in your birth chart, like, or one of the like current transits is affecting one of your natal planets in a major way this year. Astrological transits might be something that you want to pay attention to in 2024, like a bit more so than usual. But this is a really exciting energy. So the next thing that I want to do is the personalized messages. So I'm going to start with a message for those of you who do not have a specific person right now. And then the message for those of you who do have a specific person. However, with that being said, you could resonate with one message or the other, or both, regardless of your current relationship status. So please feel free to claim either or both of these messages if they resonate. So yeah, we're gonna start with a message for those of you who do not have a person, meaning no person of interest at this time, no partner at this time. What is the message for my group number 2s who do not have a person in mind? Whoa! Oh my gosh. I almost just like dropped half of the deck. A message for my group number 2s. Oh. So we have the Lovers. Right away, what's coming to me, some of you might have been confused about which one of those applies to you, because I do feel like there are quite a few of you in this group who maybe don't know your person in the 3D yet, but you do know that you have a psychic connection with them. So you're already in telepathic communication. You're already receiving signs and synchronicities and messages from their higher self. So you're like, okay, when Kino says, do I have a person or not have a person, like which one is that? Because I can feel my person. I know that they're out there, but I don't like know them like that in the 3D. So for those of you, even if you haven't met your person yet in the 3D, you are definitely already in a psychic connection with them. And I feel like this is just a confirmation that they will be manifesting into your life in 2024. This is a Gemini card, so this person could have significant Gemini placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Or actually, because, you know, for those of you who are familiar with astrology, they could have major placements in your 3rd house, like if you know your birth chart. So for example, in my case, my 3rd house is Cancer. So if this were my reading, I could be manifesting a Cancer, you know? Let's roll some dice. This Gemini energy, it could also be like Gemini season will be significant for you. That's late May to late June. So I'm just gonna take 3 random dice. Okay, 4. And let's see. We have, okay, we also have, interesting, we have Taurus and Mercury. I love when that happens, like when an actual astrological, a legit astrological combination comes out, because like Gemini with Mercury in Taurus is a thing. So you might be meeting a Gemini with Mercury in Taurus. And then we also have the 5th house and the 9th house, or the numbers 5 and 9 could be significant. This person's birthday could have the numbers 5 or 9, or their birth time, or their life path could have the numbers 5 or 9. Age gap could be 5 or 9. It's likely that you would, for those of you who don't have a person in the 3D yet, it's likely that they would come into your life when you are doing something for leisure, when you're doing something that you're passionate about, when you're pursuing a hobby, and something that expands your mind or expands your horizon. So there may be something that you're learning as a hobby, or you could be traveling for pleasure. You could be, for example, if you're a student, there could be a class that you're taking not because you need those credits for your degree, but like an elective class, you know what I mean? It's just something that you're taking because you're interested in it. So yeah, there's a feeling of you're doing something to learn, to expand your mind, but it's not necessarily for the end goal of being productive. It's like, I'm doing this because it's fun. And yeah, and like with Gemini and Mercury, there's a feeling of just being curious about something. So that's likely the type of environment that you would meet this person. I also think that this is someone who, it's so beautiful because you feel connected to them in your spirit. And then when you meet them in the 3D, you already know that your spiritual connection is amazing. And then when you meet in the 3D, it's like our intellectual connection is also amazing and our physical connection is also amazing. And I think that you have, this is gonna sound weird, but you and this person have really good debates. It's not like you're fighting, it's just you're like debating on different topics in a friendly way. That, oh, I didn't think of it in that way before. You challenge each other. You open each other's minds more. And it's like you point out each other's biases. and you point out the ways in which you could be, you know, like stubbornly stuck in your ways. You could be from different cultures, or you just kind of have different backgrounds and different worldviews. And it's like you call out where each other might be stuck or stagnant, not growing, not opening your mind. And so you keep each other always growing and always being open to new ways of seeing the world. So your intellectual connection is very strong, and it's like you feel comfortable enough with each other to challenge each other and call each other out. And also, you know, there's been this like undercurrent of like sexual energy, or becoming more comfortable with your sexuality. So if you are a sexual person, you are manifesting an amazing partner in that regard for sure. So let's take a look at a message for those of you who do have a specific person. A message for my group number 2s who do have a specific person. We have 2 cards coming out at the same time. We have, what order do these go in? We have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Tower. I don't know what order these are supposed to be in, but for those of you who have a person of interest, but you're not committed to them, I think that you might be letting go of this connection. Now, what I will say though is that this message is for those of you, if you are with someone who makes you feel insecure, or you don't feel secure about your place in that person's life. Like if you can't say with certainty, like, this person chooses me, this person makes me feel loved, this person creates space for me in their life, this person makes me a priority. If you feel insecure about any of that with your specific person, I do think that you are letting this connection go. The Tower represents something that is falling apart because it was never built on a solid foundation in the first place. And especially for those of you who have felt uneasy with your specific person, or felt red flags, or felt like, I don't know if they're really interested in me, I don't know if this is really the one. Like, if you've had a lot of those doubts, but you've just ignored them and kept pushing forward, I know this is kind of a scary message, but I feel like those doubts could be coming back around, or those ignored red flags could be coming back around to bite you. So yeah, those of you who have felt insecure about your place in a person's life, I think you're kind of realizing, like, you know what? I don't want to have to fight for a place in your life. And I deserve to be with someone who makes me feel secure and who treats me like royalty, like this Queen of Pentacles. So any of you guys who have been feeling not valued by someone, or feeling insecure, or feeling unsure of where you stand, even feeling unsure of where you stand with someone, what is my place in this person's life? Do I have a place in this person's heart? If you've been having doubts like that, I do think it is time to let this connection go with these 2 cards. For those of you who, like, if that doesn't apply to you, if you do feel really, really safe with your person, and you know that you have a solid foundation, then this message is not for you. Now, there could be, I mean, there still is a Tower moment here. So you could be going through a different type of Tower moment in your life in 2024, and having to kind of realize that whatever fell apart, you do deserve better than that, and this is going to lead to further blessings. And I wonder if maybe your person is helping you realize that and helping you stay firm in that belief. Let's see what the dice have to say. We have Libra energy, we have Mars energy, and we have and we have the 2nd house. So yeah, I think there's no way around this tower moment. Even if you are in a really secure relationship with your person, there is some kind of tower moment that is happening for you. So it might have to do with like your career, an unexpected ending or falling apart in your career, in your living situation, maybe in like a different connection, like in a platonic connection. And I think that your romantic partner in that case is really going to be someone who helps you stay secure through that, and who helps you remember that there are greater blessings to come. And I hope you know that, because we've really seen that in the first part of this reading. There are greater blessings to come, and whatever is falling apart, they're reminding you that you deserve better than that. And also, it's like they're helping you channel your anger. There's something here about channeling your anger properly. So this tower moment is happening to you, meaning something, you're letting go of something, or something is abruptly coming to an end, and you may be left with anger. And there's a message here: instead of directing that anger back to the person who caused this tower moment, you channel that anger into building something for yourself. So like an easy example of this energy is, let's say you got broken up with and you're really angry at that person. Rather than just directing all of that anger back to that person, you maybe channel it into your creativity, or channel it into your work, or use that anger to fuel you to like love and protect yourself more, or maybe like to go work out and bodybuild or something. It's like you find an outlet for that anger that builds you up, rather than finding an outlet for that anger because you want to tear them down. It's like use it, channel that anger and use it to your advantage. That is the best way to win, with finger quotes. That is the best way to win in this situation. That is the best way to, like, even the best revenge is just to take care of yourself and thrive. So for those of you who are feeling insecure with your person, I do think there may be a falling out, and then that those feelings can be channeled into something greater. For those of you who are feeling really secure with your person, then this falling out is something else. It's something else in your life, but your person will then remind you that you deserve better and help you to channel your anger in a healthy way. I'm sorry if that was confusing. There was like 2 different messages within this. So now we are going to get into the tarot that you chose and see your timeline of events. The timeline of events for my group number 2s. There's a message coming through. Make sure to check your messages, or make sure to check your inbox. There might be a communication you've received that you didn't notice, and it's just sitting there, or that you forgot to respond to. Okay, we are starting off with the 8 of Cups. The Magician. Oh. The 5 of Cups. And then we have the Sun, which fell into my lap. And then we're gonna take the bottom of the deck energy as the messages and advice from your spirit guides. And we have the moon. It's interesting that we have both the sun and the moon. And an emphasis on constellations again. You guys are very gifted in astrology. Some of you guys might already know this, that you're very gifted in astrology, or your spirit guides are encouraging you to learn more about your own birth chart or to study astrology in general. It's something that you have a natural gift at. You are naturally gifted at this. And maybe learning more about your sun and moon sign and how they play off of each other, that could help you to understand yourself more. I'm noticing as well, both of these, there's dog constellations. So dogs could be significant to this group, whether you have dogs on Earth or you have dogs on the other side who are watching over you. A person born in the year of the dog could also be significant to this group. So 1994, 1982, 1970, and you know, back 12 years like that. And let's talk about this Eight of Cups. This is giving me the same kind of energy as the Tower. So this Tower moment that we saw here, I think this is happening at the beginning of the year. Like within the first 3 months of the year. But for a lot of you, it feels like the very, very start of the year, like literally the turn of the new year. This could be happening, this Tower moment. The Eight of Cups, it can indicate an ending. It often talks about walking away from something. But I think the reason it's giving me such strong vibes of the Tower is because there's this staircase that's cracking. And so imagine if you're walking up a staircase and you can see that the bottom steps are starting to fall apart. If you keep walking up and those bottom steps fall down, like the whole staircase is gonna fall down. It's really important for things to have a solid foundation. And the whole reason the Tower falls apart is because the foundation wasn't solid. We maybe ignored it or didn't realize it, and we kept building and building and building. So now we're falling from a pretty high up tower, and it's hurting. So there is some falling apart that is happening in your life. Like I said, it could be like for those of you who are in a situationship or with someone who doesn't really make you feel secure, things could be falling apart with them. For those of you who are in like a vague, if you're in some kind of connection that doesn't have a label, like a what are we situation, you don't know where you stand with this person, there's a message that keeps coming through about something that they do on New Year's Eve, or the way they treat you on New Year's Eve could be like a final straw for you. Like, I don't know, maybe they, for example, you're like waiting until midnight and then they don't invite you, or they don't even text you. They don't even say Happy New Year. And it's just like, and it just sucks. That's just one example, but like New Year's Eve and something being the final straw is coming out. Or maybe you even said to yourself, like, I will wait for this person until the end of the year, and if nothing has changed by the turn of the new year, then I'm walking away. It could be something like that as well. And again, this doesn't have to be, like, for those of you who are in a secure relationship with someone, I really don't think this is about your relationship. It could be something else that you were waiting on, and there is some kind of disappointment, I have to say, at the start of the year. Like, this is just how it is coming through. But I love that we have the Magician after this, and I love that the Magician is holding a match, because it's like, whatever happened here, and we kind of spoke about this, whatever happened here, you're using that as kindling to become a badass, and you're using that as fuel to live your best life this year and to manifest all of your desires. And we were talking about this right from the start of the reading, that this is a year where you're going to see a lot of big manifestations come to fruition, where you're going to feel empowered, when you're going to feel like that you have the power to make the changes you want in your life. And that's what the Magician is all about. the magician is in control. The magician has the power. And I love that your sunglasses like cover your third eye too. Like your third eye is open, is working. Whatever's happening here, like I think you're already in your magician energy, but this is just like the final thing that really pushes you into the magician energy, and you're saying, screw this. Like I'm not gonna be held back by this anymore. I know that I deserve better. I'm gonna go and make amazing things happen in my life. So this magician is you. This is the energy that you're stepping into. With that being said, with the Five of Cups here, I don't see this as you ignoring your pain. I think here we have both full cups, we have upright cups, we have spilled cups, we have broken cups. So there's good and bad. There's positive emotions and there's negative emotions. And I don't think you becoming this magician, it's not like you're becoming a toxic positive person or you're ignoring what hurt you. And I think, yes, you are stepping into this badass energy. Yes, you are manifesting your desires, but you're also holding space for your pain. You're also allowing yourself to grieve. You're also allowing yourself to have negative thoughts. And I think what you're doing this year, what you're manifesting this year, even like the sun and the moon, it's that duality. Like you have your light and you have your darkness, and you are a manifesting badass in the midst of all of that. And I think what you're manifesting this year is really a testament that you don't have to be perfectly healed, or you don't have to be perfectly positive to create good change in your life and to manifest what you desire. You could be getting like a meaningful tattoo this year as well that reminds you of how powerful you are, or that reminds you to keep going even in uncertain times. You could be getting a new piercing as well, and you could be like paying more attention to accessories or changing up your accessories or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of emphasis on, we have a full moon, we have a crescent moon, the moon here, and the different phases of the moon here. And it's very realistic, right? You have good days and you have bad days, but you're not, at the end of the day, you're not gonna let that stop you from being this magician. I think that Leo season could also be a really significant time this year. So late July to late August, that could be when you're feeling finally recovered from what happened and feeling radiant and feeling like your true self. This could also be the time when one of your really big manifestations is coming to fruition. I do feel like this group has big goals with relation to your work or money and business, or with a creative project of yours, or with mastering a skill. And not only that, but gaining recognition for that skill, with putting yourself out there and showing the world what you're good at and having that be recognized. I think a lot of you have big dreams with regards to that. And I do think it's around the middle of the year that you're gonna start to get the recognition you deserve, and that like some of the more heavy energies are going to subside. Yeah, so I guess the year is starting off kind of heavy, honestly, and then as the months go by, it becomes lighter and lighter and lighter. But even amidst that bittersweet energy, you're still manifesting big things. There may be kind of a period where you're reaching big goals, but you kind of have mixed emotions, or you can't be like fully happy or fully present. Examples coming to my mind is like getting a scholarship, or getting accepted to a school, or making it to the next level in a competition is also coming to my mind. Like you made it to the finals, you made it to the championships, or maybe you even won a championship, or becoming a bestseller, like some big milestone like that. And it's like, yes, you're happy, but because you still kind of have some lingering heavy energies from the beginning of the year, it could feel kind of mixed, like mixed emotions. And I feel like Leo season, so like late July, late August, that's when you're really, this heavy energy is really going to be completely gone, and you can just be happy and enjoy the fruits of your labor and feel like carefree. This is around the time when stresses are going away. And so for those of you who already are in a relationship, I do think from the energy we see here, your partner is going to be an amazing support throughout these times. And I think that this will be a year that really strengthens your bond, and that looking back, you will have so much gratitude that they were by your side throughout all of this BS. And I think the second half of the year is going to be a lot more lighthearted, and it feels like a celebratory energy. There's a big milestone being reached in your life in the middle of the year that you and your person are celebrating, and your dynamic and your lives will feel much lighter after that. You could also be, you and your partner could be making some kind of announcement to people around the middle of the year. Like there's something that the two of you are making official, like you're telling friends and family. I know that's kind of vague, but like something happy, some happy news that you're revealing to your friends and family in the middle of the year. And then for those of you who do not have a person, and this is the person, whoop, what just happened? This just rolled and went to the number 4. For those of you who don't have your person, I do think it's like, it's after this heavy thing has happened and before the happy milestone has happened. Maybe between the months of like April and June, you'll be manifesting this new person into your life. And so they're kind of coming into your life when you're in this, in the middle energy. Like, I know my life is getting better and I'm happy for that, but there's still some lingering heavy energies from the past. So you're not completely healed or completely okay when you manifest this person. And so they're getting to see your whole parts, and they're getting to see your broken parts, and getting to see you, you know, pick up the pieces and reinvent yourself, and maybe even helping in that process. And so I also think that's going to be something beautiful to look back on. And, you know, again, I think you're looking back with a lot of gratitude for this person, because it's like, you saw me when I was down and you still chose me. You saw my sharp edges, you saw my broken bits, you saw me going up and down, and you still chose me. And I think for those of you who are meeting a new person, there's a really strong recognition. Oof, I'm like, okay, I just got a little bit of chills there. Cause like, you know, when you're struggling in life and there's just this like force inside you that keeps you pushing forward, that keeps you going. And it's like when you meet this person, a lot of the things that they say to you feels exactly, it's like word for word, that voice inside you that kept you going when things were hard. Or like the emotions that they make you feel. That's the, oh my God, a car just honked outside, so that's confirmation. Those are the exact emotions that kept you going when times were hard. And so you realize that, like, yes, they're here now supporting you, but you realize that they were here this whole time. They were with you this whole time, helping you through your struggles. And I think you can even look back further, like to 2023, 2022, and realize that, like, this is a very strong spiritual connection. Realizing that they were actually helping you out that entire time. They were actually speaking to you that entire time. And it just feels like a very emotional realization, and something that really deepens your gratitude for this person, and also something I think that you can verbalize to them, something that they would be open to hearing and understanding, and like acknowledging that, yeah, I was with you in spirit, which is just so beautiful. Sunflowers could be a significant sign of your person's higher self. And I think your person is kind of like a dog in that They're affectionate, loyal, always happy to see you. They have that kind of vibe. Or maybe they're a dog person. You know how there's people who have more like a dog personality and more like a cat personality? I think this person is a dog. I know it's kind of a weird thing to say, but anyway, yeah. So things are definitely gonna get much easier in the second half of the year, and I feel like that's when you're really in just a celebratory, happy and carefree energy with your person or with your partner. So those are all the messages for your love life in the year 2024. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you, and thank you once again to Tarot Stack for providing these beautiful decks. All of these decks are going to be linked down below, as well as their website if you want to browse other decks. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, a wonderful rest of 2023 and an even better 2024. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. You can also decide on the topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, I will have my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you and to your person and to both of your higher selves, both of your spirit guides, both of your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number threes, so if you guys chose the squids, this is going to be your reading all about your love life in the year of 2024. So this is everything that is going to be covered in today's reading. We're going to start off by taking a look at your overall energy towards love and relationships, and we'll see what energy you are coming from, as well as the energy that you are shifting towards in love. Then we are going to get some personalized messages for the group. So this will be split into two messages, one for those of you who do have a specific person in mind, so a person of interest or a partner whom you're already with, and then there will also be a message for those of you who do not have a person, so to speak, at this time. And then we are going to get a specific timeline of events that will be unfolding in your love life in the year of 2024. And then we will finish off the reading with messages and advice from your spirit guides. So the first thing we're going to do is see your overall energy towards love and see what is shifting for you. So the cards representing the energy that you are coming from are finding balance, this doesn't feel right, the Conqueror of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords, and set the intentions, plant the seeds and watch them grow. And then for the energy that you are moving towards, we have staying alive, maybe in another time, in another life. The Sovereign of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. And rest. Give yourself time to recuperate. Okay, and I do want to mention that all of the decks that we're using today, including the tarot deck that you guys chose, these were kindly provided by Tarot Stack and are available on tarotstack.com. They have a beautiful, diverse selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. You have definitely seen a lot of them if you watch my channel regularly. Thank you very much if you do, by the way. I love Tarot Stack because not only do they provide this platform for us to find decks by independent creators, but they also directly support these creators with 50% of their profits going towards funding new indie tarot or oracle deck projects. So they help these creators get their decks printed and published and marketed out there into the world. And now is the perfect season to gift yourself or a loved one a tarot or oracle deck. Most of the decks are beginner friendly. They come with detailed guidebooks. So I'm gonna have all of the decks we're using today linked down below. You can take a closer look at them. You can see every card in the deck. I'll also just have Tarot Stack's website linked down below so that you can browse other decks. But thank you so much to Tarot Stack. It's always a pleasure to collaborate with you. And now let's get into your reading. So I do think that what we're seeing here, I definitely think this does pertain to your love life, but I think that this is an energetic shift that you are going through in your life in general. You are moving into the year of 2024 with a lot less stress and BS. And I'm actually seeing this as kind of a common theme throughout the groups today, which I'm really, really happy about. But specifically for this group, it seems like 2024 is going to be a year where you are taking things a lot easier. You are being a lot more gentle with yourself, like we can see in this card, prioritizing rest and self-care. And there's this feeling of you're not working hard just for the sake of being a hard worker. You're not working hard just for the sake of being productive because that's where you find your value. It's like you're being a lot more intentional in where you place your efforts. And you're allowing yourself to rest without feeling guilty. It just feels like a slower, more relaxed year, but that's something that is intentional. It feels like a softer and gentler year compared to maybe what you have been through in the past. I also see you with the Queen of Swords. You may be cutting a lot of stuff out of your life. You could be decluttering your home. You could be letting go of commitments that don't excite you anymore. You could be like doing a purge on social media. You could be cutting out like acquaintances and keeping your social circle just small and intimate. It seems like you're letting go of a lot of just baggage. You could even be like purging your closet and, you know, just getting rid of items that you haven't used in a long time and that were just unnecessary weight in your life. And I think you're gonna feel there's no English word for this. You're gonna feel just really like refreshed and squeaky clean and lightweight after you purge all of this stuff. You could be purging heavy emotions as well, but I think you're just gonna feel a million times lighter in the year 2024, and your inner peace is going to be your biggest priority. And if you're the type of person who struggles to rest because you feel guilty, you feel like you shouldn't be resting, or you feel like after you rest you have to like make up for it and work extra hard, you know, to regain that ground that you lost when you were taking a break, or if your body's resting but your mind can't rest because it's thinking about all the things you have to do, that's going to be changing in 2024. Like, you're having a restful, relaxing, and rejuvenating year, and you are getting things done, but you're getting things done on your own terms and on your own time, and not from a place of pressure, and not from a place of I must accomplish these things because it determines my value and it determines how worthy other people think I am. We're just not playing that game this year. And I think inner peace is like your biggest priority. Even just looking at the transition that you have here from the Knight of Swords to the Queen of Swords, this means you're maturing. There could be, some of you guys are achieving a major accomplishment by the end of this year, or you did have a major accomplishment this year, and in 2024 you may be slowing down and just maintaining, just enjoying the fruits of your labor before we suit up and are like, okay, let's hustle and reach the next goal. Let's just enjoy what we have accomplished up until now. Let's just sit here for a while and enjoy the view. That's what this year feels like for my group number 3s. You have matured a lot. There's a feeling of not needing to prove yourself to anyone anymore. I think in 2024, you care dramatically less about what people think of you, and you care dramatically less about gaining people's approval. So if you are not in a relationship, I think this is going to impact how you date, because you're not showing up to dates feeling like, oh, I hope this person likes me, or like, I need to impress this person. You're just going with an open heart, with an open mind, and saying like, let's see if we're a fit for each other. And if we're not, no hard feelings. That's totally fine. And if you start to feel like things aren't really working, you're not going to waste your time. This is a very no nonsense kind of energy. Like if something isn't working, let's just be upfront about it so that we can both move on with our lives, rather than having this like weird, vague thing going on and dragging it out for months. And yeah, this is also kind of like a common, yeah, I already said this. It's a common theme I've seen throughout the groups, is just like cutting out the unnecessary stress and like, yeah, just things like that. And I also think even if you are in a relationship, this will affect how you communicate with your partner. I think you're going to be a lot more upfront about your needs. And of course, you still care about how your partner feels because you're a human and you care about them. But I think we're moving away from an energy where we're like, oh, I can't say this because what if it annoys them? What if it inconveniences them? We're not gonna, deny our own needs just to like appease someone else's comfort. We're not gonna shy away from uncomfortable discussions. And that is really a sign of your maturity. And there's just something, it feels like there was some situation in which you were trying to push yourself and like you wanted to see results, but it just didn't feel right. You could be really prioritizing your mental health this year, because the way this is coming through to me is that sometimes like just the fact that you survived is okay. You know what I mean? Like this looks to me like someone who's trying to build the ideal routine and have a perfectly healthy, balanced life. And they're kind of like, this feels like I'm lying to myself. Like some days just like rolling out of bed is an accomplishment. Some days just making it through the day is an accomplishment, and that's okay. This feeling of always trying to strive for bigger and better, and it just doesn't feel authentic to me. And sometimes I just want to be okay. Sometimes I just want to exist and have that be enough. And I think that's what this feels like, striving for perfection, and this feels like just existing and having that be okay. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And in terms of a relationship, there might have been, some of you guys may be moving away from a specific connection that was like this, or just a type of connection that you were often in, where you kind of found yourself overthinking about the balance of things. For example, oh, maybe I'm messaging them too much, or I messaged them 3 times in a row, so I'm not going to reply to them for a while because I don't want to come across as needy, or like I invited them to the date last time, so I'm going to wait for them to invite me this time. It's like, yes, that kind of balance is important, but ideally it's something that you don't have to be constantly thinking about and like basing how you interact with this person off of like, I don't want to come across in a certain way, or I want to keep the balance this kind of way. Like if you're thinking about those kinds of things too much because you want a certain result, or like, oh, I'm gonna respond, I'm gonna post this story so that they see it, or I'm gonna respond to this person's story so that I can like start a conversation because I want to try to get them to talk to me about blah blah blah. Like, if there's that feeling of like, I don't know if plotting is the right word, but like monitoring all of the interactions to see how someone feels about you rather than like just letting things flow naturally, I think that's an energy that you are moving away from. And honestly, this could just be a result of your own personal growth, because sometimes being in that energy, it's not necessarily about the other person making you feel that way. You could just be an overthinker, you know? And I'm the queen of overthinking, so this is not a judgment, but you know, like for example, you could be in a really secure, healthy relationship and still be overthinking your interactions and be like, does this person who's been dating me for 5 years and want to marry me, do they like me? Like, the brain can be illogical like that. So for some of you, it could be that you're just moving out of that energy of overthinking and just flowing in your relationships more. For others of you, like if there is a specific person who has you acting like this, you could be moving away from that person. And this really just feels like an energy of just letting things be and just existing. And it also like being, this might sound bad, but just like being prepared to let go. Like if things don't work out, that's okay. But I'm still gonna go out there and try with an open heart and see what happens. You know? I think sometimes saying like things could end or things could go wrong sounds pessimistic, but this is a testament to your open heart. Like, yeah, I know things could go wrong, but I'm gonna show up anyway because I believe in love. I'm gonna show up to this date with an open heart, or I'm gonna show up to this conversation with my partner with an open heart. And if things go bad, that's okay, because I trust that either we can fix it, or I trust that the universe will bring another person into my life, like whatever it might be. It's like you're not afraid of things going wrong, or like trying to hold things together, or avoiding uncomfortable things for fear that something's gonna fall apart. I think you're just like bravely facing what is. You're bravely facing what is rather than like always striving to be something else. I hope that that makes sense. So we are going to get into some personalized messages now. And we are gonna start with those of you who at the time of watching this do not have a person, meaning like you don't have a specific person of interest on your mind, or you don't have a partner. So my no person group number threes, what is the message for them? My group number threes who don't have a specific person. Okay, we have the Page of Cups. Okay, so that is a sign of someone coming in to make an offer. So, but the page is, no, I don't think this has to do about the level of maturity of the person coming in. I don't. You know, we saw here, like, you are the knight growing into the queen. Your gender doesn't matter, by the way. Like, this can be king, queen, royalty. Just you're growing into the highest evolved form of yourself. This represents your maturation. I think that this page, it is the most immature, so to speak, the least evolved stage of the court cards, but I think this is more so representing what stage of the relationship you're at. The Page of Cups is very sweet and playful, innocent, pure. And so for those of you who don't have a specific person, I think that this represents the stage of relationship that you would be entering into with a person within this year. I also noticed that when I was shuffling this deck, it felt like it was taking a little bit longer for a card to come out than in the other groups. So for those of you who don't have a person right now, I do think a person is coming in 2024, but it may be later on in the year, so that by the end of the year, you're still kind of in these early stages. This feels like the stage that is like new and exciting. I don't think puppy love is the right word, actually. I don't know what that means. Anyway, like the early stages of a relationship where you're still kind of like shy around each other and blushing, and it's very, you have butterflies in your stomach and you're getting so excited to see them, and you're like, oh my gosh, our date is tonight. Like that's the vibe of Page of Cups energy. Almost, it's a little bit before the honeymoon phase, I would say. It's like we're getting to know each other and it's very exciting, and oh my gosh, I have a crush on this person. Like that is the vibe that you will be in with your person by the end of the year, which then it also really makes sense that they're coming in like later on in the year. So let's roll. I'm gonna pick 3 dice from this bowl. We have Pisces, we have Taurus, and we have the planet of Venus. So this is a very, very romantic person that you are manifesting. This is definitely someone who is in touch with their feminine side, regardless of their gender. This is someone who has no problem expressing their emotions. They definitely want something long-term and serious, and they do kind of have a hopeless romantic vibe to them, or just a very romantic person. They believe in true love, they believe in soulmates, they probably believe that like love is the most beautiful thing in the world. You know, we have the planet Venus here, which is a planet of love, and then we have Taurus, which Venus is like at home in the sign of Taurus, and then Pisces, Venus is exalted in Pisces. So Venus really likes these signs, or likes being in these signs. And so I just think this is a very like romantic, sensitive, sensual as well, and affectionate person. And I think that they're very demonstrative, if that's the way you pronounce it, very expressive when it comes to their feelings and their affections for you. This person could be an artist. So your dates could involve enjoying art, like you could go to concerts, plays, movies, art galleries, museums, things like that, or they might make art for you as well. And they could, this is water sign energy, so that's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and then we have Pisces here again. And Pisces with Venus in Taurus could be a placement of this person, or Taurus with Venus in Pisces. Yeah. So what about those of you who do have a person? For those of you who do have a person, okay, we have one card which is falling out on the floor. Okay, and we have the King of Wands. So for those of you who are not committed to your person, the King of Wands, it always, in this kind of reading, makes me think of someone who is just not committing, or they have other priorities. So for those of you who do have a specific person in mind right now, but you're not in a committed relationship, it doesn't really look from this card like they will be committing to you. So this might be something that you are moving on from. For those of you who do have a person that you're in a committed relationship with, they could be very focused on their own stuff in 2024. If that makes sense. And that doesn't mean that they're not going to be present in the relationship. It doesn't mean that they're distancing from you or anything like that. But for example, if you were wanting to move things to the next level with your partner, or if there was something specific that you wanted to experience with your partner this year, it could be difficult because there's other things in their life that they are focused on. So the biggest thing that's coming to my mind is career. The King of Wands is like a leader, is ambitious, has a big vision, wants to do big things in the world. And I feel like in 2024, there's like a specific goal that your partner is really motivated towards, or just they're really focused on their career. They could actually be in a leadership position in their career. So like a lot of people are counting on them. You know, if you're like, for example, if you're the manager in a branch, you probably can't just take a vacation whenever, whereas it might be more flexible if you're like in a lower position, I guess. I don't know. It's like the level of responsibility that they have, or like how high up they are in their job, could make them not able to do certain things this year. They could be like, some of them could be touring or traveling for work. For some reason, I just got the feeling of an athlete who's going from city to city to play matches, or they could be traveling a lot for work, like they're going on business trips or they're on tour or something, and so you're seeing them a bit less. There's a feeling of, and this could be your energy too, actually. There's an energy of someone who's just kind of doing their own thing. And maybe this is just a year where you and your partner are kind of focused on your own things. And again, that doesn't mean that your relationship is suffering by any means. It doesn't mean that things are going badly, but you're just kind of focused on your own endeavors. And if there's any like joint endeavors or joint projects, they may just have to wait because other things are the priority right now. So one example of this is like, maybe you are planning to get married to this person, but you're like, this is not a good year to be planning a wedding because I'm going to a million different places for my work, or I can barely take a vacation, so we can't have that destination wedding that we want. So that's, you know, that's just gonna have to wait. Or maybe it's not time to start a family because we just have these other things going on. So it's like things that you would, the next level in your relationship, or things that you would plan to do together, maybe have to wait because you or your partner or both of you are more focused on independent endeavors. Let's roll some dice as well. Yeah, we have the first house, which is like about the self. So definitely gives me the feeling of being focused on your own things, but you will, this is like the 8th house, you will come back together because this is joint ventures, joint finances, things like that. So this is just a temporary phase that you're going through. And with Taurus here, this is a really grounded and sturdy sign. This is fixed earth. It's like the most sturdy sign ever. So whatever it is that you guys are going through, your relationship, for those of you who are in a committed partnership, your relationship is going to stay rock solid. I think it's just time for you guys to do independent things, and then you will come back together with this 8th house energy. You will come back together, and I think you will start a joint venture with your partner. So this may be something that's happening at the end of 2024, or maybe like the following year in 2025, but it's like you're going out to have your own experiences, and you're gaining a lot of abundance and wealth in doing that, and coming back together with new ideas, with new resources, 26 as I'm talking about this, so that when you do come together to make plans for the future of the two of you, or for your joint efforts, you have a lot more wealth to work with than if you were to do that this year. Yeah, someone's going off and making a lot of money, and maybe it's both of you. But anyway, this concludes the personalized messages. So we're gonna get into the timeline of events now with the tarot that you guys chose. threes. Whoa, that's a lot. I'm not going to take all of those, but that could be indicating maybe like the first part of the year is going to be quite hectic and go by really fast, or maybe like the rest of 2023 is going to go by really fast, because it does seem like you're entering into a more gentle energy in 2024. But yeah, there's a feeling of you have so much to do and it just goes by in the blink of an eye. The timeline of events for 2024. Your person could also have something going on with their family. We have the five of cups. It's weird. Before this card came out, I had a feeling of like someone's partner is spending more time with their family, or having to help their family more, or like go back to their hometown more. And with the Five of Cups here, like someone in their family, another card just fell down. Someone in their family could be struggling, and so they have to focus on being there for them more at this time. We have the Page of Swords. I'm gonna put these together, I think. Yeah. We have, this is the Three of Wands. The Sun. The Sun energy has come out in every single group so far, interestingly. And then we have the Hierophant. And then the bottom of the deck energy is going to represent the messages and advice from your spirit guides. So at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I do think that there is, and it seems that you're already very much following this advice from your spiritual team. So I think that they're just confirming that you're on the right path, because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. And so for this to come out as advice, I really think that there is a piece of advice to slow down and just take one day at a time. With this being a child picking flowers, it is giving me the feeling of stop to smell the roses, and stop and just enjoy the moment. Which I think really goes well with your previous message. And I think that many of you who chose this group, it's like you've been in an energy of, it's like you feel pressure to perform being a busy adult, because that's how we show our worth in this society. I'm so grown up and I'm so mature, and look at me with all of these responsibilities, and look at how busy I am, and oh, I'm so tired because I have so much going on. It's like we're all trying to perform being busy. We're all trying to perform being productive, because it makes us feel more like a legit adult, or it makes us feel more valuable. And it's funny, I think you're realizing, like, you've been trying to prove to yourself, like, I'm this adult, I have it together. But true maturity is realizing that none of it matters. And with this Sun energy that has come out in everyone's reading, there has been, again, this feeling of relieving yourself of stress and not taking things so seriously, and remembering that life is supposed to be fun. And I really think that that is coming through strongly, because this is paired with the Queen of Swords. So you're definitely stepping into this energy, and this is exactly the advice that your spiritual team would give you. I think they really want you to know that you're on the right path with this, and to really slow down and let your inner child come out and explore and be creative. It's, you know, life isn't about who can get from point A to point B fastest. And I just heard like we're all going to the same place at the end of the day, which is, that sounds like maybe a spirit guide's dark humor, but like, what is there really to prove at the end of the day? You're here for such a short time. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Like, let's just all relax. That's kind of the feeling of this card. And also, I often feel with the Knight of Pentacles, like, yes, the Knight of Pentacles is about consistency, but I also feel this non-linear energy to it. You know, relieving that pressure of life doesn't have to be linear. Your healing journey, your journey to success, your journey of getting closer to someone doesn't have to be linear. And consistency is less about producing the same results all the time, and it's more just about consistently showing up. You know, if you show up today and give 100%, and you show up tomorrow and you can only give 20%, that's okay. The important thing is that you showed up. And so I think there's just, you've been quite hard on yourself, group number 3, and I think in 2024 you're taking off a lot of that pressure from yourself. These are for those of you who don't have a person, have not met your person yet, I do think that this will be happening in the second half of the year. At some time in the second half of the year. And maybe there's some of you who like were wanting them to come into your life sooner, or once they do come into your life, maybe you're feeling that things are progressing slowly with them. And yeah, there's a bit of healing happening here, especially for those of you who have been in like a situationship with a non-committal person, for example, where it felt like you were waiting and waiting and waiting, and then ultimately nothing happened. Things moving slowly, even if it's in a healthy relationship, things moving slowly could kind of re-trigger that wound of like, oh my God, I'm just gonna end up waiting for this person and nothing's gonna happen. And you might be wanting things to happen faster because you want an experience that is so drastically different from the situationship. And it's not slowness that is bad, it's inconsistency. It's someone giving you mixed feelings. It's someone not showing up for you. If you're in a connection with someone and things are moving slowly, but all the while they're making an effort, they're being kind to you, they're showing you respect, they're showing that like they're making an effort and making you a priority, it's okay to take things slow. And I think you know that, like in your logical mind, that it's okay for things to move slowly, but I think there's like a little trigger within that the slowness reminds you of like, oh my God, is this going to be like that time where I was hung up on this person for so many months and nothing happened? So getting reacquainted with that slowness, and even in your life in general, realizing that slowness is not a sign of falling behind, that slowness is not a sign of failure and you need to catch up. That slowness can be something deliberate that you're choosing to do because you want to savor the moment and because you're not in a rush and because screw you society, this is my lifetime and this time is all mine and you cannot pressure me to use it up faster. Anyway, so yeah, we're embracing a gentle slowness in our life. So, okay, let's go through this timeline now. It does look like, and this is also something that has been occurring throughout the groups, where the first energy is the like negative one. The first energy is the uncomfortable one. And it seems like we're all just like getting the negative stuff out of the way at the start of the year. This may even be something that you're already dealing with at the time that you're watching this. But the Five of Cups it's like a loss or a disappointment. And I think for this group, it's feelings of dissatisfaction, something that is upsetting you in your love life. Whether that's the way your person is treating you, whether that's where you stand with your person, whether that's the fact that your person hasn't entered your life yet, whether there's like a past relationship that you're still upset about. There's there's something that is upsetting you with this Five of Cups. And the Page of Swords is all about just being blunt and cutting to the truth and being really honest about what's going on. But the fact that this page has their eyes closed, it's almost like they're turning a blind eye to their own pain, or like turning a blind eye to their own dissatisfaction. And I think there's like some pain that you need to acknowledge so that you can be free from it. There's some, you know, speaking about the stresses that you've been holding on to, the pressures that you've been putting on yourself, that may come from a deeper pain. The feeling of, I need to do this and this and this to be worthy in society or to be worthy in someone's eyes. I think that this is suggesting that there is a deeper wound there. It's not as simple as like, oh, it's hustle culture. Oh, it's toxic productivity culture. Like there's something that goes a bit deeper and that is more personal to you that is not being seen yet, or that is being ignored. And I think that this wants to be faced. And I think this is coming out as the first energy, not necessarily as something that is gonna like happen to you, but almost as if your spiritual team is saying, the sooner you address this, the better. This, yeah, and even if this is like, for some of you, this could be a disappointment that you're feeling with a person or within a connection, and that's also something that needs to be addressed in a straightforward way. And this is something that being able to do this is going to lead to a lot of maturation for you. With the Three of Wands here, this is actually Sun in Aries. So this point of the timeline could be representing Aries season, which is late March to late April. I do think that there is something exciting happening for you at this time in terms of an opportunity coming your way that is very much in alignment with your current values. So it seems like here you've done a lot of healing and you've reevaluated the type of lifestyle you want to live and how you want to show up in the world and what you want to offer to other people and what you expect from other people in return. And here you're getting offered an opportunity that is very much in alignment with that. So it's like a no-brainer to say yes to it. I do think that this could be with regards to like career or creative endeavor. It could also be an opportunity to travel or an opportunity to attend something out of town that is going to lead to abundance for you in all senses of the word. Monetary abundance, an abundance of time, flexibility, the opportunity to do things your way. This kind of looks like I'm thinking of like the connections in a brain. Like it looks like the inside of a brain to me. So you could be getting an opportunity that is very well fitted to your brain. Like maybe there's a lot of workplaces or a lot of like working cultures or working styles that just are not compatible with the way your brain works. But whatever opportunity it is that is coming here, it's like perfect for the way your brain works and perfect for like everything you want in your life. Like this opportunity was literally crafted for you. And this is something that is going to happen in Aries season. And this is so important because it makes you being able to live this lifestyle. It's this moment of like, oh shit, nothing was ever wrong with me. This is what the universe is trying to show me. The previous environments that I was in that weren't a fit for me, it's not that I didn't fit the environment, it's that environment didn't fit me. I use this comparison sometimes, I think a lot of people do, but like if you try on a dress and it's not the right size, that's the dress's problem, and you need to get a different dress. You know, it's not like, oh, I should change so that I can fit into this piece of fabric. No, the fabric is made to fit the human, and your experiences and your lifestyle and your routine, it's meant to fit you. And when you get offered and accept this working style or this lifestyle or this community that is in alignment with you and how your brain works and how you function and what habits your body and mind naturally lean into, and you're supported, and I'm getting like emotional and worked up here, you realize that nothing was ever wrong with you. And the idea of like what's an acceptable way to function in society, I feel like is so narrow. And I think a lot of people suffer from not being able to fit into it. And it's nice to see my group number 3s being accommodated and thriving, like in a work environment or in a community that it really feels like it was made for them. And for some of you, this may actually be a matter of going to another culture, like a place that just has a different culture that is more in alignment with you. Because the three of Wands can indicate like travel. So just putting that out there. And also the Three of Wands is a card that makes me think of like passive income. You could be making passive income, or you are making the same or more income with a lot less stress, which is maybe something that you didn't think was possible. And I really just see you loving life from this point on, from Aries season on throughout the year. This is you really embracing your authentic self. And so for those of you who are in a committed partnership, this actually really does match with the King of Wands energy, where both you and your partner, you're on this kind of journey. You're on respective journeys of self-discovery and embracing yourselves. And again, it doesn't mean that you're not focused on your partnership. I just think that this year is really all about the two of you as individuals, and embracing your authentic selves is going to make your relationship so much stronger. Now, for those of you who don't have a person, this opportunity could very well be what brings this person into your life. You could be working with them or collaborating with them. It seems like we speak about a supportive environment for you, a supportive community for you, and I think that this person is part of that. And I think that your first impression of this person is going to be that they're a genius. Like, you're going to be in awe of their mind. You're going to be in awe of their ideas and how they see the world. And I think you're going to learn a lot from this person. I think where we see the waiting and the patience is that throughout most of the year, it seems like you're in a dynamic where things cannot become romantic. You know, this feels like we have to stick to the rules. This is the Hierophant. We have to stick to the rules. We have to stick to the conventions. It feels kind of more rigid and professional in this sense. So I don't think this is someone who's coming into your life like, you know, like my friend introduced me. I think it's like, oh, this is my collaborator, or even like, this is my superior. This is someone I'm working with. And it kind of just feels like the environment really supports who you are as a person and like your workflow and your personality, but it may not be the most supportive to approaching this person in a personally intimate way. It may just be hard to like break past that barrier, if that makes sense. And you may feel like for the first while of your relationship, they're acting like really serious with you. And I think it's only towards the end of the year that you start to see their childlike side and their romantic side. And honestly, you know, that's not that long, but it could feel long if you're like really anxious for something to happen with them. And this is just such a beautiful energy because this is really about embracing your authentic self. The Hierophant as well, it's about like aligning to your higher self and aligning to your truth. And also it does make me think of being surrounded by like-minded people. Again, like being supported to do the best that you can do. So I think that this really further confirms like you're really focused on yourself this year and really focus on your growth, because we have like you're growing from the Page to the Knight to the Queen of Swords, and the Sun and the Hierophant are just totally showing me someone who's like aligning with their highest self and being who they truly are, and realizing that that's not a process to be rushed. You're allowing yourself to slowly unfold, to blossom like a flower. So yeah, for those of you who don't have a person, I guess they could be coming into your life honestly anytime after Aries season. So like maybe April onwards, but I don't really see like a romantic situation happening until like the end of the year. And maybe that's just because like your environment is changing, or someone finally works up the courage, but it's a slow burn. That's what it feels like. It's a slow build. And so by the end of the year, you're still in this kind of, it's a new energy. We're just getting to know each other on a personal level, and it's exciting, and we have a crush on each other. Like that's the vibe. And then for those of you who are in a relationship, you could very well also be in this Page of Cups energy at the end of the year, because you've gone off throughout this year, you and your partner, you've gone off and had your own adventures and had your own accomplishments, and like you're reconvening, I think is the word, at the end of the year. And it's like you're meeting a new version of each other, and it feels like, ooh, like I'm gonna get a crush on you all over again. Look at how you've leveled up. Look at how you've evolved. Let me fall in love with this version of you now. Like, kind of spicy. Okay, anyway. So these are all the messages for my group number 3s for your love life in the year 2024. And thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and a wonderful rest of 2023, and an even more wonderful 2024. And also I want to say thank you so much to Tarot Stack for providing these beautiful decks. I'm going to have all these decks linked down below if you want to check out all of the cards in the decks, and I'll also link their website if you want to browse the other decks that they have. And please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my channel and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can find tons of exclusive pick-a-card readings just like this one. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. And finally, I will have my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, group number 3s, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, to both your higher selves, both your spirit guides, both your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the frogs, this is going to be your reading all about your love life in the year 2024. This is the list of everything we will be covering today. We're gonna start off by taking a look at your overall energy towards love and relationships and see what is shifting for you energetically. We're gonna take a look at the energy that you're coming from, as well as the energy that you're moving towards. And then we are going to get some personalized messages for this group. So I will pull 2 messages, one for those of you who do have a person in mind, like a person of interest or a partner. And then another message for those of you who do not have a specific person in mind at this time. Then we're going to get into a timeline of the events that will be unfolding in your love life in 2024, and then finish off the reading with messages and advice from your spirit guides. So let's start by taking a look at the shifts in your overall energy. These cards are going to represent the energy that you are coming from. And we have Nourish, Don't Go Back, the Seeker of Wands, which is the Page of Wands, and Energy, Intensity, Passion, and Power. Then for the cards representing where you're headed, we have You Already Are. Ooh, okay, I have to mention something about this card. We have I Want You, the Two of Wands, and Hard Work, Commitment, and Perseverance. And I just want to mention that all of the decks that we are using today, including the tarot deck that you guys chose, were kindly provided by Tarot Stack and are available on tarotstack.com. If you are a watcher of my channel, which thank you very much if you are, then you have definitely seen a lot of decks from Tarot Stack being used. They have a huge, beautiful, diverse collection of indie tarot and oracle decks on their website that is always growing. And not only do they provide this platform for us to discover indie decks, but they directly support indie creators with 50% of their profits going towards funding new indie tarot and oracle deck projects. So they help independent creators get their decks printed and published and marketed out into the world. And this is the perfect season to gift yourself or a loved one with a tarot and oracle deck. Most of the decks are beginner friendly. They come with detailed guidebooks. So I'm going to have all of these decks linked down below if you want to take a closer look at them. You can see every card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website, and I'll also just link their homepage so that you can browse other decks if you feel called to do that. Thank you so much to Tarot Stack. It's always a pleasure to collaborate with you. And now let's get into your reading. Okay, so about this card, when I was showing it, the camera timer was at 147, and this is a number that personally to me talks about an energy of alignment. And more specifically, this tells me that what you are currently desiring, group number 4, is in alignment with what will make you happiest. So that means you have a very clear idea of what you need in order to be happy. And also, what you are desiring is in alignment with what is destined for you. So this is like the perfect storm, so to speak. This is the perfect energy to be in to manifest your desires, which is also your destiny. This is very much a what you want wants you kind of energy. And I do get the feeling that you are desiring something very specific in your love life. So a lot of you who chose this group, there could be a very specific person that you know you have a connection with, and this is something that you're manifesting in the 3D. Or even if you don't have a specific person, I think you're just very clear about the type of relationship that you want. I want to have this kind of dynamic with my person. I want a person who has these traits. I want someone with whom I have a spiritual connection. I want my soulmate. It seems like you've gotten very clear about what you desire in your love life, and you already are in the process of manifesting this. I think with Nourish being the energy that you're coming from, a lot of you who chose this group have maybe taken some time to focus on yourself, take care of yourself, to heal yourself. There's a feeling of recovery with this card as well. Maybe some of you were recovering from a breakup or recovering from wounds in past relationships in general. You could have even been recovering from a burnout, whether that was like a physical, mental, or emotional burnout, even like spiritually. You've taken this time to nourish yourself and replenish your energy. And I really feel with this lightning bolt, this is like you being recharged and you are ready to step back out into the world. With this Page of Wands, I definitely feel like this group, you are ready for a new adventure in your life. You are ready for a new chapter in your life. And many of you who chose this group, you may be wanting 2024 to be full of new things. So, you know, like no more of what we were previously doing. A lot of you who chose this group maybe are wanting drastic change in your life. You're wanting to be surrounded by a really different type of person, or do a really different type of work, or have really different habits. It's like, I don't want to do any more of the same old stuff. This is like new, exciting, full of promise. This is the energy that you guys have. And a lot of you may actually be feeling really excited for this new year that is coming. And I think that part of that excitement is your mind imagining what's to come. But another big part of it is also your soul, who knows what is to come and is excited for you. And you may also be picking up on the excitement of your spiritual team that they feel for you, as well as the excitement that your person's higher self feels, whether you are with them in the 3D or not. I think you're like picking up on their energy as well. Even this I want you card makes me feel like many of you very clearly know whom you want, whether that's like the specific person that you want, or the type of person. You're really clear about that. And even just the fact that we have a Page of Wands going to a Two of Wands, and we even have two Bs here. There really is a feeling of going from one to two. So for those of you who are single, who are not with someone right now, you are moving towards the energy of being with someone. And again, like I said in the intro, it doesn't necessarily have to be a couple of two people, but I think this 1 to 2 energy is just showing that like you're not alone. You're moving towards an energy where you're in the romantic partnership or partnerships that you want. And with this hard work, commitment, and perseverance, this shows me that you are manifesting a partnership, or you are currently in a partnership where the parties involved are willing to put in the hard work and really want to build something meaningful together, while at the same time, yeah, this is so interesting because bees, they have that hive mind, right? They symbolize the collective, having that collective mind and working toward a collective goal. But the Two of Wands is very independent. This is Mars and Aries energy. It's very much about like coming into your own and having your individual goals. And so I think what you're manifesting, or what you're currently in, is a partnership where we do have collective goals and we are putting in work to serve each other, but we also maintain our sense of self. You know, we come together, but we don't lose ourselves in each other. And especially if that's something you've experienced in the past, where you were just so like deep into someone that you kind of lost sense of who you were, or what your goals were, or your direction in life. And you kind of like, I almost want to say, you maybe have experience in the past of like absorbing into another person and just taking on all of their energy. I feel like this connection that you're in, or that you're manifesting, is one where your energies are meshing together, but at the same time you are maintaining your energetic sovereignty. And I just think that whatever relationship is coming up for you, it is so much different than what you're used to in all of the best ways possible. You know, even this butterfly, a caterpillar turning to a butterfly, completely unrecognizable. Like unless you knew about the metamorphosis of a caterpillar, you would never look at those two things and be like, yeah, that's the same guy. Like you just wouldn't think that. So there's a big shift coming with this next connection that you're entering into, in a very good way. Like it's different in all the best ways. So And also like with this Wands energy, I feel a lot of passion. So let's get into your personal messages or personalized messages. Starting with a message for those of you who currently do not have a specific person in mind. So like no specific person of interest or partner. What is the message for my group number 4s who do not currently have a specific person in mind? Group number 4s who do not have a specific person in mind. Okay, we have Justice, and let me just, I'm so sorry to have to do this, but we are going to just cover that. And I'm also going to roll some dice. I'm gonna take 3 dice from this bowl. Okay, I took 4. And we have, interesting, so we have Gemini and Sagittarius coming out. And then we also have Pluto and Mercury. Okay, so what's kind of interesting is that Justice it's associated with Libra energy, which is like 7th house energy. 7th house represents like the house in your birth chart that is opposite you. And then we have Gemini and Sagittarius, which are sister signs. So this could be indicating for those of you who don't have a specific person, the person who is coming in is your sister sign. So just quickly, the pairs of sister signs are Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Aquarius, and Virgo, Pisces. So you and your person could be one of those pairs, or it could be indicating that your person has Libra, Sagittarius, or Gemini prevalent in their chart. This is definitely giving me like divine counterpart energy with Justice coming through. First of all, this is like the partnership that you've been wanting. This is the partnership that you deserve. And this is even more giving the vibe of what you want wants you, because this is just about balance and like balance and equality. So the energy that you're putting out is what you get back. The energy that you're putting out is what is reflected back to you. And there's a feeling with this card that your spiritual team is saying, this is the natural outcome of things. It only makes sense that you would manifest this person because this is literally your match. So when we speak earlier in the reading about you're very clear about what you desire, and then to see the Justice card, it's like your spiritual team is saying like, yep, you're clear about what you desire, and that's what is coming to you, or that's who is coming to you. And we even saw that with the 147, at least. That's always what that number speaks to me. What you want is in alignment with what will make you happiest, and it's in alignment with your destiny, and that's exactly what we see with this Justice card. So this group, you guys are manifesting your divine counterpart. Justice also makes me think of past life connections. It makes me think of soul contracts. And it also kind of makes me think of, I don't know if this is the best wording, but it's kind of like the lifetime where you get it right. And I'm putting that in very, very big finger quotes, because I'm not saying that if you don't come into union with your counterpart, you're doing something wrong. And if you do come into union, you did something right. But it's like, if you're trying to come into union with someone throughout lifetimes, it's like, this is the lifetime where it clicks, is maybe a better way to say it. Like, this is the lifetime where you're coming into union. And we have the number 11 on this card. And this makes me feel like it's a new start. This lifetime with your person, it feels like the start of a new cycle within your lifetimes. And even Pluto, it's like, it's upheaval, it's transformation. It goes so well with the butterfly energy. It goes so well with that energy of we're not going back. We are shedding an old dynamic. I think this is a really big lifetime for you and your person where like you're not going back to the old patterns. You've maybe done some major work in clearing your karma. Maybe you were processing really heavy energies from past lives and that's why you had to nourish yourself. If you were going through a healing journey and wondering why it was so heavy, it may be because not only were you processing heavy energies from this lifetime, like your childhood, for example, in this lifetime, but you were maybe also processing things from previous lifetimes. And there's a feeling of like you've released a lot. You've released a lot and you're not going back. You're not going back to old patterns in this connection or in any relationships. You're not going back to the kinds of dynamics you had before. And this number 11, it's like you're opening the door to a new, I want to say like a new level of being. I don't know what that means, but a new cycle, a new level of being with each other. This is really, really powerful. What is this Mercury? Maybe that you've already been communicated this message before and this is really just a confirmation. You're maybe even already in communication with this person's higher self and you're like, yes, I know this. Like, this is probably not the first time you're hearing this. If you are into birth charts or like if you want to analyze your birth charts when you meet this person, there might be a significant aspect between your Mercury and their Pluto or their Mercury and your Pluto. Okay, so let's pull a message for those of you who do have a specific person in mind. Group number 4s who have a specific person. Ooh, we have the 3 of Wands. So there's even more Wands energy coming through here. There could be a lot of passion between you and your person this year. You could be embracing an energy that is more adventurous and spontaneous. Like we mentioned previously in the reading, I do think 2024 is going to be a year that feels very new for you. Like we're not doing the same old energy. And so maybe your person is going through something similar. One or both of you could be going through major changes in your life and that makes things exciting. You could be traveling a lot with your person because the 3 of Wands can be indicative of traveling. And it just seems like you're experiencing a lot of firsts together. So going places that you've never been before, like going to a new country or trying a new activity together, going to an event you've never been to before. I feel you guys being more active, like going out a lot more together. You could be picking up a hobby together, or you could also be working out together or exercising together. It just seems like both of you have a lot of physical energy, and so you want to like be active together and try new things. It seems like a very fresh and exciting energy that you and your person are stepping into. And also, you know, we had the 1 here, we have the 2, and now we have the 3. So there is a feeling of expansion of your relationship. Could be a 3rd person if you're into that, but it could also be, for example, you're hanging out more with their friends, they're hanging out more with your friends. It could be that you're meeting each other's family or spending more time with each other's family. The 3rd person could be like a child that you're welcoming into the world, or it could be a fur baby, it could be a companion animal that you're welcoming into your home. There's just a feeling of your love is expanding and you're enjoying, it sounds weird, like you're enjoying other people's company in your relationship. I think for most of you, it probably just means that you're being more social and being more involved in each other's circles. And this makes you feel closer to each other. And it also makes you feel more appreciative of each other. Because like, for example, if you hang out more with your person's friends, you get more of a sense of like what has shaped them, and you get to meet people who love your person and who are appreciative of them, and maybe get to hear stories about them that you didn't hear before, or see a side to them that you didn't get to see before. And if you meet their family, it gives you more insight into their past and like why they do the things they do, and where certain of their mannerisms came from. It gives you more of a bigger picture of the beautiful being that is your person. It's like you're getting to see more into each other's worlds because you get to have this community with each other's people, if that makes sense. So I think the theme for you and your person in 2024 is growth and expansion, and getting to see the bigger picture of each other, getting to see sides of each other that you didn't see before. And it's like really exciting to know more about each other's backstory and, you know, the ins and outs of your day-to-day life. Even like if you got to go to your person's workplace, you know, so like this is what you do all day. This is that coworker that you always talk about. This is who they are, and this is, you know, what you're doing at your desk. Just getting to see more into each other's life, and then feeling more and more that you have this solidified place in their life. It's a really, really sweet energy. So let's roll some dice as well. We have the sign of Capricorn. We have the number 12, so the 12th house. And then we also have the South Node. Interesting. So you and your person, you could be rehashing something from the past that one or both of you had kind of, I want to say suppressed, that one or both of you had kind of suppressed. And it was either because your logical brain told you too much time has passed for you to still care about this, like it's expired, this emotion is expired, just let it go. Or that you kind of wanted to be stoic, like you thought it was too frivolous to address this emotion. And this could be something really small, like, I don't know, a comment that your person made 6 months ago, or a weird interaction that you had with them, or something that their friend said in passing when you were hanging out with together, and you're like, wait, I didn't know that about your past. And it's like you want to bring it up because you just want to get clarity on it. It's either like upsetting you, or it's just kind of like gnawing at you. But your mind might tell you like, oh my God, get over it. That was like 8 months ago. Like you can't still be thinking about that. And it's like, no, just bring it up. If it's still in your head, then it deserves to be addressed. And I don't think this is anything major, but there's something that is like still kind of lingering in the recesses, in the back of your mind, that you just want to bring up and get clarity about it. Like, remember when we were on our first date and you said blah, 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 blah? Like, do you still feel that way? Because I still think about that sometimes, and I wonder if you still feel that way, or like, what did you really mean? What did you really mean when you said that? Or you know, when you did that last Christmas, I felt really insecure. And I know it's not a big deal, but it's like, let's just talk about these things, because it will only make your bond stronger, and nothing is off limits. There are no stupid questions. There are no stupid concerns. Not in this relationship. If there's one thing we're doing, we're gonna talk about stuff. Yeah. So, okay, let's get into the tarot that you guys chose now. I am shuffling it upside down. Okay. Let's try that again. I mean, it doesn't really matter. She's a little stiff. I think I need to use this deck more often. Okay, so group number 4's timeline of events in their love life. I'm just noticing too, the tarot that you guys chose, it's the New Moon Tarot. I don't know if you consciously chose it because of that, but new moon, it feels new, it feels like a fresh slate. And even the imagery here, like the faces reflecting each other, it is giving divine counterpart vibes. Cups. Okay, you guys, like, you're manifesting your soulmate or you're with your soulmate. And this is actually the first group that I straight up said that, because it's straight up appearing. Then we have the Hierophant. And these are sister signs too, because this is Scorpio and this is Taurus. So sister sign energy is coming through a lot. I was just thinking that bees and elephants could be significant animals for you. And then that happened. So I think that was a confirmation. Especially elephants could be a symbol of a passed on loved one. And I feel really emotional when I'm saying this. So if you see like symbols or images of elephants, or even like if you dream about an elephant, that is like the embodiment of a passed on loved one or an ancestor who is protecting you and who loves you a lot. It's also really interesting, the Six of Cups, it can talk about the past, and we were speaking a little bit about past lives, and then I'm thinking about elephants, how they say like elephants never forget. So your spiritual team could be trying to say with these two cards that you never really forget your past lives. They are always accessible, or those memories can be shown to you. It could even be that this passed on loved one or this ancestor wants to help you access your previous lives and wants to help you remember where you came from. So that could be a big theme of your year of 2024 as well. So I'm just making a mental note that at this point, the cards are taking quite a bit of time to come out. Then we have the Seven of Swords. Then we have the Ten of Cups and the Four of Cups. That makes a lot of sense. And then at the, oh my gosh. So the bottom of the deck, I've been using it as messages and advice from your spirit guides. And at the bottom of the deck, you guys have the Star, which, yeah, all of this makes so much sense together. So yes, like I have said probably like 10 times in this reading already, for those of you who don't have a person, you are manifesting your soulmate right now. For those of you who do have a person, you are with your soulmate right now. That is really, really clear. This is someone with whom you've had past life connections. Your higher selves are aligned with each other, and there is commitment coming in with this person. And because this is a timeline, we are seeing this happen early on in the year. So even for those of you who have not met this person yet, your commitment to them is going to happen quite fast after meeting them. We have the numbers like 5, I know I'm kind of going out of order, but like 5, 6, 7. We even have 4, like 4, 5, 6, 7. So They could be coming into your life between the months of April and July, for those of you who haven't met this person yet. But honestly, for some of you, I do feel like it's even sooner than that. But yeah, it's happening quickly. And the time from meeting them to entering into a committed relationship is quite fast. And for those of you who already have your person, this window, April to July, I think I said, could be a period where you and your person are entering into a next level of the relationship. So after this card came out, things kind of slowed, right? So in the middle of the year, there is a disappointment or a disillusionment that is happening within this relationship. Something very happy is happening first. So that's you entering into this committed relationship and feeling like, oh my gosh, this is everything I've been manifesting. This is everything I want. Or, you know, moving to that next level with your person. And there's really a feeling of, I want to say, of triumph. Like, this is what I've been longing for so long. Then we have this Seven of Swords. So this is a truth coming out that is kind of disrupting the peace. And you could kind of feel deceived. For some of you, this could be a truth coming out about your person, or a truth coming out from your person that you feel deceived because this is not the version of them that you thought they were. It's kind of like throwing you a curveball, I think is the expression. And once this truth comes out, it could be really hard to get out of this funk, because this is where the cards started to slow down. For others of you, it could be a truth about this connection, or a truth about the external factors surrounding this connection, and then you feel deceived by the universe itself. Because there's a feeling of like, I thought that this was it. I thought that this was like the end of my manifestation, that my blessing had been received, and now I have everything I want. And now this Seven of Swords happens, an unexpected truth coming out. And yeah, so I'm trying to think of an example for this energy. But like, maybe you find out that, like, let's say your partner has to leave the country or something. Like, you're here thinking that everything has been solidified, and then this curveball comes out. That's kind of the feeling. And I don't know what this is going to be, but you see all these snakes moving in different directions. There is a feeling of like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And you going back and forth and back and forth. And this being kind of a mentally and emotionally volatile time. Because I think there's a part of you that's like, this isn't a big deal. We can figure this out. We can get past this. And then another part of you is just feeling so upset. Like, this isn't what I manifested. This isn't what I was expecting. And sort of swinging back and forth between those two emotions. The reason I said it makes a lot of sense that the Four of Cups and the Ten of Cups come out after this is because the Ten of Cups is happiness. The Ten of Cups is a blessing. It's actually like you're happily ever after. And then the Four of Cups is like something that you're not seeing. So when these two cards come out together, it's very much giving blessing in disguise. So whatever has come out, it is going to lead to something positive in your long-term future. But in the moment, it's like, just because you weren't expecting it, or this wasn't the trajectory of things that you had imagined, it kind of, I think, throws you for a loop is another expression that applies here. And you're just like, what the heck? What do I do? And it's like, yeah, it's that feeling of like, I don't know, for example, like you find out that this person is like going through a divorce, or they've been married before, or they have to leave the country in a few months and they don't know how they're gonna come back, or their job is transferring them across the country, or, you know, just something kind of unexpected. It might feel kind of scandalous in the moment, and it's just like not what you anticipated at all. And I think that's where the deception comes from. I don't get the sense that this person was lying to you or presenting a false version of themselves. I think it's just that the truth that comes out is so different than maybe what you assumed or how you wanted things to play out. And so it's like, what the heck, universe? Like, why are you doing this? What is going on? I thought this, like, we came together, we're in our committed relationship. I thought this was the happily ever after. But no, there's something else happening that we need to get through. But look, we have hard work, commitment, and perseverance. So I know that you and your person can work through whatever this is together. And with the 4 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, this is a blessing in disguise. This is your greatest happiness, your greatest emotional fulfillment with this 10 of Cups, like the happiest you could possibly be. And it's often everything you wanted plus more. And sometimes to get that plus more, we have to accept these divine redirections. We have to accept that maybe the way there is a bit different than what we anticipated, so that the universe can work its magic. And so I don't know what this 7 of Swords is. I don't know what this curveball is, but I can say that it is very much a blessing in disguise for your relationship. And then with your advice, we have the Star. So your spiritual team is literally saying, and it's so interesting because the Star comes after the Tower card. So, you know, in the Tower, we feel like everything is falling apart. We feel like something is being taken away from us. The Star shows us that there is hope, that there is hope after this, and that not only can our deepest desires and greatest wishes come true, but things can be even better than we expected. With the Star, it's always better than what you ever expected. And that's what this relationship can be. And man, I've had moments like this in my relationship, and things have been challenging, and now things are better than ever. When, you know, these things that come up, they can initially be scary, and you're like, why is the universe making me do these difficult things? Well, not that the universe is making you, but you're like, I care about this person and I'm gonna do it, but like, why? So yeah, it will be worth it and then some in the end. And I think the only advice from your spiritual team is to know that any struggles and any complications are only leading to even bigger blessings, and to always know that things can be better than what you're dreaming. Your piece of advice is just to remember in the magic of the universe, and remember that it gets better, that it gets so much better. Wow. Like, this is one of the most powerful relationships in your life and in your lives, like in the lives that your soul has lived. And like I said, this lifetime feels like a really, like with this Pluto, with this butterfly, it just feels like a really powerful new beginning. And when you overcome obstacles together, like, there's no looking back. I think you're really turning a new page in this lifetime. But your spirit guide, your ancestor, also like wants you to remember where you've come from, and keep that with you. Not because you're going back to it, but there's a great power in remembering where you've been. Like, that's a part of you. So I think these are all the messages. And I know this is not 2024, but the early 2025 will bring some really, really happy news for you. I don't know what it is, but like the beginning of 2025 is going to be a really, really happy time, especially in your love life. So yeah, those are all the messages I have for my group number 4s. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I wish you all the best. I also want to say thank you to Tarot Stack once again for providing these gorgeous decks. I'm gonna have all these decks listed down below if you want to check them out, and I will link Tarot Stack's website as well if you want to browse any other decks. And I also hope you guys have a wonderful rest of 2023 and an even better 2024. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I will also have my latest release down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So I'm sending lots of love to you, and I'm sending you so much gratitude. Thank you so much for supporting me and everything I do. I really appreciate having you here. I'm also sending a lot of love to your person and to both of your spirit guides, to your lovely ancestor or past on loved one who came through quite strongly in this reading. I appreciate them being here as well. And I'm sending love to all of your spiritual teams. I mean, both of your spiritual teams, or all. And I'm sending love to all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!